Hi, good morning. So yesterday I talked about First Peter chapter 5 verses 8 and 9, and where it talked about standing firm in your faith. And I focused on that idea that standing firm in your faith was the ultimate thing that we need to have in order to withstand the attacks of the enemy. Well, there's something about standing firm that I want to look at a little bit today and just sort of expound on a little bit. There's some aspects about standing firm in your faith because if you're struggling in that area, it's probably because of one of four things. Now, there could be something else, but specifically, the idea that we need to be in the Word, in the Scriptures, we need to have worship, we need to have fellowship, and we need to have prayer. Now, think about if you're deplete in one of those areas, what that might do. I mean, in the physical, if we are depleting ourselves of food and nutrients, we will start to lose weight and get sick. Same is true with water. If you don't have water, water is a critical thing. If you don't have enough of that, then that creates a problem. Well, in our spiritual life, it is true the same thing. Part of growing in faith is being in His Word, being in the Scriptures, and reading and studying and listening to God. That's what prayer is about. Prayer is more often the sitting down and just listening to what God has to say, not laying before Him a bunch of ideas or provisions or requests, but just listening to God. Be still and know that I am God. That's what He said. Be still. And so that's important for this whole journey of faith. And then fellowship is so important because we get encouragement from fellow believers, people who have gone through the same thing we've gone through and made it through to the other side. We need those people around us. And worship, extremely important. Prayer, extremely important. Scripture, all of it. And the question is what are you doing in those areas? And do you set aside time for fellowship, prayer, and worship? Do you actually have a time perhaps in the morning where you sit down and spend some time just doing that? One of the things that I do enjoy doing every morning is sitting in the dark and listening. And sometimes I'm reading, but just listening to the silence, listening to my heart, listening to God's heart. So again, we're to stand firm in our faith. How do we grow our faith? Through His Word, through prayer, through fellowship, and worship. If you're not practicing those, I would encourage you to think about setting aside time to do all four. Hey, until next time, God bless.